Nemui. Or, oh, I'm so sleepy. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But it's the first thing that came out of my mouth, so that's what you're gonna learn. Nemui. Well, is the same. It's not a language thing. It's like, or, oh. Nemui means sleepy. Ne, mu, I. Pretty easy because it's pronunciations that exist in English as well. What tend to be harder for English-speaking people is using the R and L sound together in one syllable. Ra. Like ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Which can really be read, translated into an English spelling with either an R or an L. I actually make fun of Japanese people a lot, but this is a really common one, is when Japanese people are speaking English, they would tend to say, I would like only 2 oranges, or something like that. Only. They say R instead of the L sound, because to them, it's ra. That's what they know how to speak, but they don't know how to say just one or the other, so they just say R sound for everything. That's either R or L. So, hero. It's not quite that extreme, but you see what I mean. I mean, me and my friend, we do this all the time, and we're not. I'm Japanese, so I get to make fun of Japanese people anyway. It's just like the black people saying nigga kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, so me and my friend love to make fun, just like only or completely or something like that, It sounds kind of funny. And, that's a cough. Let's see, what else can you learn? Well, here's an easy one, although it might not be very useful. How to say helicopter in Japanese. You say helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter. And that's helicopter. Stretch the ta. And, it's basically the same thing as helicopter, only said in a Japanesey way. Another word, how to say privacy in Japanese. This one's actually kind of interesting, and I bring it up a lot when I'm talking about Japanese versus English differences, especially culturally. Japanese does not actually have a word for privacy. And it's a relatively new concept in their culture, privacy. Because a long time ago in Japan, privacy just basically didn't exist. First of all, Japan is known for having small houses, cramped quarters, and everybody lives there. Nobody has privacy. So privacy was never really used or necessary as a word to exist in their language. Now, privacy exists as, you may guess it, puraibashi. Pu-ra-i-ba-shi. I don't know if this thing helps. But, it's basically stretching the last letter. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm doing this kind of on the fly. So, yeah, I'm not so good at, teaching on the fly the conceptual, whatever you call it, like sentence structure type things. I'm better at, it's easier to teach just words. But I got this one person suggesting male and female differences in some sentences, as well as あれだねなんですけど あれだね and なんですけど Okay. あれだね is sometimes used actually as filler when the person doesn't know what they're talking about, like they lose their train of thought, then they'll say, だから、あれだね, like, they can't think of the word, so they just say are instead. Are just means that, and you're pointing to something. Are, re, which is the L and R sound put together. You know, the one that I talked about earlier in this video. Are dane. Are means that. Dane is like, isn't it so? Or something like that. Are dane. ベリーボンズはアステロイド多分やってるんじゃないかな something like that. And that sentence I just said is, isn't it like something along the lines of and then I said, what did I say? Barry Bonds is, I think, probably using steroids. For example, I actually don't have an opinion on that. I don't really care whether he does or not. I think, you know, it's fun to watch him anyway. Although, you know, yeah, I guess it's not as simple as that. Never mind, to take that back. I don't really have an opinion on that at the moment, officially. Okay, and なんですけど. なんですけど is sort of formal. Desu is usually not really necessary in a sentence if you're talking to a friend or a family member. You would never say des, unless you were, you know, purposely being desu-like, you know, saying des for no reason, or just to change your speech up a little bit. なんですけど. Okay, that's formal, and it means roughly, it's like this. So, for example, a Japanese salesman would say this to a customer. The Canon camera has a 3-year warranty, but the Sony camera only has a 1-year warranty. And that's not actually a fact, I'm just using it as an example. So they would say, Canon, which is how you say Canon in Japanese. Canon no kamera wa... Oh, sorry, I got distracted, somebody messaged me. Canon no kamera wa warranty ga 3年あるなんですけど. Okay, that doesn't work. I'm trying to think of an example here. Canon no camera wa... Okay, how about colors? The Canon camera is silver, but the Sony camera is black. Canon no camera wa silver 銀色なんですけど、Sony no camera wa 黒です。Kuro, black, 銀色, silver. Or some, you know, Japanese recently use a lot of English words in their everyday language. So sometimes they just say shiruba, and a lot of people in Japan will know what you're saying. Or buraku for black. You know, just because they study it and they like it, so, you know, it starts to creep up in advertising campaigns, and, you know, the pop singers say English in some of their lyrics and all that jazz. So that's nan desu kedo. I don't know if I really went over it that well. I hope you guys get it. You know, I got sidetracked a lot, so forgive me for that. So you have to watch this whole video just to get that little part. Finally, daro and desho. Desho and daro is actually both usable by either female or male. But, nonetheless, daro tends to be a little bit more masculine, and desho tends to be a little bit more feminine. But it's not strange at all, not even a little bit, if I were to say, so desho? Isn't that true? Or, so daro? Isn't it? You know, desho might be a little bit more polite as well. So daro is like something you say to your friends, or, you know, somebody below you, not as important as you in a company or something, you know, because Japanese are like that, you know. They rank people based on usually experience, but not necessarily, you know, sometimes it'll be how good they are at the job. So daro. So desho? So desho is, yeah, more polite. But, and, you know, women can say, so daro. It's, yeah, it's a little bit strange, but, you know, tomboys would say it all the time. And so desho is, yeah, you know, for a female, that's no problem. So, yeah, either one could use it. I think that's good for now. I think I rambled. I might not even post this because it's so unfocused.